All right. This is just a few thoughts about some things that's been going on. Two things in particular. Cops walking off the job because they're being held accountable for life, and brothers and sisters of European descent telling people of African descent to go back to Africa. Those are two things that I want to touch on right now. The first one with the cops. Now, why are you walking off the job as if though that is something that is wrong or that we should care about? Like, what you're telling us is that you would rather have free license to do what you want to do, even take the life of a person unjustly that poses no threat or no harm to you, rather than be held accountable for your actions. You know, you are a public servant. You serve the public. The public does not serve you. There's some weird kind of, once we interact with you, you are the authority figure. Now, brothers and sisters, you have a 2-year degree, if that. What is that? Like, those of us that are in society that are trying to make it and take it, we have 6+ years of education behind us to get to where we get. You get a funky 2-year degree or 90+ hours of education and think you have the right to take life without being held accountable? That's sick, man. So get off the job. Walk away. We do not need you. I do not want to be pulled over by a man with a 2-year educational degree that thinks he has the right to take my life, or that thinks he has the right to stop and have this life transcend into the next. Leave, brother, sister, walk out. Deuces to you. We do need to reform, restructure this whole thing. Quit. Walk away. Walk away. Not needed. You and your services are not needed and not wanted. We do not need to be, we are not in a situation where we should be scared, where we should be cautious, where we should be threatened by the presence of the lawkeeper. We don't live in a totalitarian society. And if we did, we would need to change that. Walk off, deuces, bye, you're not needed. You need to be okay with being held accountable. If you overreacted in a situation and murdered somebody, you need to be held accountable for the murder, just like everybody else. You got teachers who can't talk to students and say something to a student in a certain way without being fired. You need to be fired if you take a life, bro. You need to be held accountable if you take a life. That's the bottom line. That nobody is above the law. Nobody is above justice and righteousness. So walk, deuces. We don't need you. Your brothers and sisters that support your train of thought, that are in positions of power, are going to have the ability to support you in your future endeavors. So deuces to you and yours. You're not needed. And then there's the conversation, brothers and sisters of European descent that are telling people of African descent to go back to Africa. So many different things wrong with that. The first thing that I want to think about and I want to address is that what you're telling me is, if I do not like the mistreatment here, then I should leave. That I should accept mistreatment, that I should accept the very reality that any of my brothers and sisters could in fact find themselves in a situation with law enforcement unjustly dead. What you are telling me to do is to accept that and to be quiet, and if I don't like it, to go somewhere else instead of staying right here and trying to work with people and showing them that these acts are wrong, they are unconscionable, and they need to be changed. That's what you're saying? That's ridiculous. At no point in time should we just sit back and allow injustice to reign. That doesn't make any sense on any level whatsoever. At all times, in all spaces, in all areas of activity, we need to strive for justice in all of our relationships, justice and balance. That doesn't make any sense. So you're asking me to be quiet and to take the abuse, to be treated as inhuman and dehumanized and not recognized as a person deserving of respect in society. That is wrong. And it only hinders the conversation towards equality, towards justice, towards balance, towards seeing everybody and loving all of our brothers and sisters that walk this planet. Stop this madness. Stop your madness. The brothers and sisters that are working towards justice and equality, you make it harder for them to do their job, for them to manifest their energy. It is very confusing. You know it is unjust for someone to sit in their car and then 2 minutes later to be losing their life when they're driving home. That doesn't make any sense. It is unjust for a man or a woman to do the same job and to be paid different wages. That doesn't make any sense. Stop it. Wherever we find ourselves, we need to make sure that we are striving for justice and equality. At all times, in all areas of activity, including education, economics, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, and war. It is disgusting to see people that want to continue to perpetuate injustice. Peace.